A common question we get on our page is, why is Jordyn's voice the way it is? Many people ask nicely. I never mind as long as people are nice about it. So I wanted to take a minute and explain. So Jordyn is 23 years old. She has autism and verbal apraxia. Both of those two conditions combine together to affect her speech. It affects both the amount she's able to say as well as the voicing in which she says it. So something about Jordyn is she did not speak until she was over the age of 6. And at age 6, we found a speech therapist that specialized in autism and apraxia, and she used a method called prompt therapy for us. And it's spelled PROMPT. And it was a game changer for Jordyn. And I'm going to explain it in mom terms, but basically that speech therapist, the technique was to move Jordyn's mouth to make the sounds. And that helped with the signal between moving her mouth to the brain to help her learn how she should be positioning her mouth to make the sounds. So the case with Jordyn, no speech came naturally for her. She had to be taught everything. I don't know if that makes a difference in like her voice production. I don't know if it's that she strained when she went. I really don't know why her voice is as deep as it is. We've went to many different professionals and never really gotten a strong indication other than the autism and the verbal apraxia. But the thing for me is her voice is amazing. As a mom, her not being able to speak for so long, many professionals by the time she was 6 was starting to say she probably would not ever speak. And if you have followed us much, you know I talk a lot and I love to talk. And so the thought of her never being able to speak was heartbreaking for me. And to find the speech therapist we did and for her to learn was amazing. When she first started, she would learn a sound, and then she had to learn to put the sound with another sound and to make a word approximation, and then to make the word clearer. And then eventually, and when I say eventually, years, she would learn to combine the two sounds to make combined words, to make a sentence. Everything had to be taught to her. And it was just amazing. And I'll never forget when she was probably 6.5 and we had been doing this therapy for a little while. And we were sitting at the table and we were practicing because we would practice different things like 5 or 6 times a day. Our speech therapist would give us homework. So we were sitting at the kitchen table and I was singing the ABCs and I would leave out one in hopes that she would fill that sound in. And so I was doing the ABCD, pausing, and not only did she fill in the next letter, but she kept going. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I'm gonna cry just thinking about it. It was at that moment, I just had so much hope because not only was she able to fill in her ABCs, it meant that it was all in there. We'd been teaching all this stuff, but we had no idea if any of it was sticking. And at that moment, I knew it was. I knew she had an output problem, not an input problem. Everything was going in, but she just didn't know how to get it out. And so once she had that voice, we were able to find out how much she really knew. So anyway, that was a very long-winded explanation for why Jordyn's voice is the way it is. But to me as a mom, it's nothing short of a miracle. And one of the prompt therapy was amazing for her. And one of the other things that's been amazing for her is doing videos for social media. If you've watched her over the course of the last few years, the difference in her language is unbelievable. And I attribute that to practice. When we're doing the videos, she's watching in the camera, she's watching my mouth, she's watching her mouth. We get in this very familiar routine to her to where I'm asking her questions, she's answering, and it has helped her tremendously. So I just want all of you to know that follow our page. You've been a big part in Jordyn's progress and the ability for her to speak, and it just continues to get better and better all the time. So anyway, long-winded explanation, but that is the story behind Jordyn's voice and why she sounds the way she does.